It's Margarita Skype, and in today's video we're going to talk about jewelry design. Is it expensive or is it affordable? This question has been floating on the market a lot. People all over the world talk about this question, and let's put an end to it. Let's figure this out. You are coming to a store and you're looking at this $6,000 ring. It's a simple solitaire, simple ring. You like it, it's beautiful. Let's say it's 1 carat diamond and you love everything about it, but it just seems too classy, too simple. You'd want something else so unique just for you and for your girl. How much would it cost if you would want to, for example, add a hidden heart either side of the chain and make it a little more special, a little different than any other ring that you've seen? Now, a jewelry designer in the store would have to design a new ring with the 2 hidden hearts on either side on that ring. Jewelry design can be ranging anywhere from $150 to $300, and that's with the new mold. So let's say right now this ring should cost you around, let's say top $300 more. So if you're coming to the store and you're telling them that you want to add little 2 hearts on either side and they're telling you it's going to be expensive, it should be not more expensive than $150 to $300 tops. We are in 2024 and these prices are as of this year. I want to say if you're stumbled upon me sometime in the future, the prices might change. So let's go further into this. Let's dive in. So let's say you came to the same store and this $6,000 ring that you really like, you would want some little diamonds on either side and maybe 2 hearts hidden, and maybe you'd want the stone to be a little more raised because that's how you feel would be more beautiful. Now we're talking about a completely different ring, which we will need to completely custom make. At this point, this ring that you're looking at is not valid anymore. You're going to go to the same jewelry designer and he's going to remake this ring into your vision with the diamonds on the shank, or shank is another word for band. So he will make it, or she will make it with the diamonds on the band, and custom put those little hearts and maybe raise the stone how you want it. Now this mold should cost you the same, from about $150 to $300. Why I'm saying the same? Because different designers charge different amount of money for different type of work. We work with different designers, and in fact every jewelry store and every jeweler will work with different designers. I'm a designer myself. I can do rings myself in a program that's called, there's different ones on the market, there's Rhino, there's Matrix, but depending on how long it will take me, depending on my area of expertise, depending on how many years I'm in this industry as jewelry designer, a simple ring can take me 20 minutes and it can take me an hour, depending on all these factors. So different designers charge different amounts of money. So since we work with different jewelry designers, I can tell you that some jewelry designer, I will come with this type of design and they will tell me $300. And there's other designers that will tell me it's $200 or $180. Everybody's different, so it depends on which jewelry designers the store works with. And it's not that simple as just charging random amount of dollars. It all depends on how, the delivery is done. Some designers are really good and affordable and it will cost you $100, but you'll get that ring in about, 1.5 to 2 months. And some clients don't want to wait that much. That's when you go to a more expensive jewelry designer that perhaps, makes them faster, or knows how to make them faster. They will take a week to give you back the new design, but it will cost you $200. So it's all these factors. So don't think that if you went to a jewelry store and you were quoted for a new model or for a new design $300 and down the road somebody else quote you $150, that this particular store is charging you more money. They might just pass the cost on to you, and it's the jewelry designer they work with is charging that type of money, because I've heard a lot of these stories where people assume that the store is charging more, which is not always true. So I just wanted to bring that clarity. Now let's go back to the topic, is it cheap or expensive? When you're changing that whole amount, you're still paying, like I said, $150 to $300. But now you have to pay for all this new labor for someone to set those stones, for the extra gold that goes on top, for the band to have those diamonds. You have to pay for the new diamonds. That's where it can get pricey. But if we're talking about precisely for this example, that you're going to have 1 carat center stone with some diamonds on the band, and that together with the signs should probably cost you anywhere from $600 to $900. Depending on, again, which store you go to. So if you think about it in global scheme of things, if this is a ring of your dreams, you really like it, and you think that this ring will make your girl happy, then spending another $600 to $900 to create something unique is not that unaffordable. But at the same time, if you're both shopping for a ring or your situation is different and you think, this solitaire ring to begin with for $6,000 she will like just as much, then maybe you don't need to make it custom. What does it all come down to? First, let's answer the question. Is jewelry design inexpensive or expensive? I just answered that question. It is both, depending on your situation. It can be expensive, can be inexpensive, depending on your budget and what you want to put in. But let's answer another question, which is, why does it depend on your situation? And it depends on your situation because at the end of the day, everybody wants to make their girl happy. You are here shopping for an engagement ring, hoping to make her happy. That brings me to another point. You have to know your girl. When I have guys coming in and they're a little bit clueless, which a lot of them are, and it's totally normal, we always talk about this from a psychological point of view, believe it or not, because we have to talk about the family you are marrying into, right? Let's look at this scenario. Example number one, her family is fancy. You're marrying into a fancy family. This family has certain expectations, financial expectations from you. And I'm sorry, I know we're going to get all these discussions about how love is love. And at the end of the day, yes, love is love. I agree about it completely. But you are marrying into some family and have some expectations. That is the reality. And many guys come and they simply tell me, I cannot give her a $2,000 ring because the expectations of the family are higher. Or for example, you're marrying into a family where the bride's side will pay for the wedding, but you have to pay for the engagement ring. Obviously, you have to understand if they're paying for the wedding and it's going to be, let's say, $30,000-$40,000, and you're going to pay for the ring, which is $2,000, it doesn't look good for you. So for me, if you're marrying into a fancy family and you know about it and your girl's fancy and in their culture that they're expecting a good ring, then you probably have to save up and get that ring that they're expecting, in my interpretation, unless you have talked to your girl and she says, no, that is not the case. So that's example number one. Example number two, the family is not involved. You love this girl, she loves you. There is nothing cultural about the parents. They are not involved. If they're out of the picture, then go for what you feel she would love. A good example is trying to figure out what your salary is, what your affordability is. If you feel like you can spend more or less, most North American gentlemen spend around $5,000 to $10,000. That's sort of the norm, $5,000 to $10,000. This is kind of the standard. The ones that are marrying into fancy families go way above 10 grand, and the ones that the family is not involved can go even below 5,000. Now, a lot of couples come and say we like to shop together. That's one of the most perfect things and makes my life easier because they both say what they want. Most of the times when they shop together, it's usually around $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. That's just statistically, and that statistic is based on me and on my experience for over 20 years selling engagement rings. Last two, economical purchase. Some couples come and say we want the most economical ring. Economical in the sense that they want it pretty, but they don't want to break their budget. Maybe they're saving up for their house, maybe they're planning that baby. For them, this is just something that they have to do, get married, so they don't care. When it's an economical purchase, I always say, what do you love? Do you love gemstones, colors? Tell me what you love. If it's diamonds, what shape? Because for economical, you can get a $1,500 ring that's beautiful with a tiny half a carat, or it can be heart shape, it can be marquise. We can get creative. We can do it with salt and pepper diamonds. We can do it with some sapphires or rubies, or you name it. So it all comes down to more creativity and what you love. And the last one is for life. I call it for life because I have a lot of clients who say, Rita, I want to make this a great purchase for life. I love this girl. I see her and me being together for life. We don't want to come back to this topic. I have a lot of these clients too, because to be honest with you, the clients that buy the half a carat at the beginning usually come back. It is just statistically proven that if you got a half a carat and you got married with a half a carat, I am expecting to see you in the next 5 years for sure, wanting to get an upgrade of a 1 carat. And that's totally okay. By that time, 5 years passed, maybe you bought that house, maybe you got that promotion, and you want to get a 1 carat then. Totally fine and expected. But some clients just want to get the right ring and never want to shop jewelry again. I have a lot of clients who do not wear jewelry, who like bijou. They don't care for it. They want to get engagement ring right and beautiful at the beginning and sort of forget about it, never want to do an upgrade. In that case, we always talk about what do they want to spend. Most of these clients spend around 10 grand because they're doing it more of a one-time investment. And so at the end of the day, jewelry design is all about where are you going? Who do you love? Who's the girl that you love? Does she love unique? Is that her thing? Do you think if you're going to propose with a unique engagement ring, it will make her happier than if you're going to propose with a standard one? Or on the contrary, does your girl care for the ring? You'll be surprised how many just don't care. And that's okay too. So then why bother with a custom jewelry design? Go into any online store or regular store and buy a solitaire or buy a ring that you love, and that's it. Pay and propose. Very simple. It's Margarita Skype, and I hope you learned something new in this episode about jewelry design and engagement ring choices. I'll see you in the next video.